What is going on to you Aries out there? So you have the Five of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, then you have the Temperance, the Six of Wands, Nine of Swords, the Hermit, Ten of Swords, the Moon, Eight of Cups, and the Seven of Wands. So y'all basically, y'all tore up the view, so I got to give y'all y'all's first. So the Five of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Temperance, this represents how a lot of you Aries, again, using your knowledge to move forward, right? Like, you know when someone is trying to run game on you now. You can identify when someone is trying to run game on you way better than you were before. A lot of the times, Aries relationships don't really necessarily pan out the way that you want them to, especially in the past, because a lot of y'all lack game. Like I said before, a lot of you Aries are very intelligent, but y'all can sometimes not really understand that not everybody has your best interest in mind. So now that a lot of you Aries have a better understanding of what's going on, you Aries now know, oh, okay, you can't you can't take everyone seriously. So as a result, the Temperance now is a representation of how you're using your knowledge to move you forward, right? Because now you know what to look out for. Now you know that people out here have, they have things that you need to watch out for. And that when you see those things, you don't really need to be hanging around them too much or at all anymore, because you know what type of person they are, right? So then you have the Six of Wands. So when you start to see that type of nonsense, like I was talking about, you know that you don't have to hang out with those types of people. You can move forward because you're judging for character. What you're trying to do is you're trying to cut down on the time so that way you can get to talk to many different people, or many people, right, in a very short period of time, excuse me, with the least amount of drama as possible. So then you have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords now represents another thing too. Don't be afraid to walk away. When someone is showing you those types of things that you need to watch out for, to know if they're faking it or to know they're not really the best type of people, you need to, well, number one, you need to be able to walk away from that, no matter how much it is that you like them. Because, again, morality doesn't come into it. A person could be, handsome or pretty or whatever the case may be, but at the same time, if they are people that flake on you, if these are people who ghost you, if these are people who give you a hard time, there's always some sort of power struggle, then you should stop hanging around them, right? You need to walk away. And that the longer you take when it comes to walking away is the more power they feel like they have over you. And the more your identity becomes more caught up in their identity. So then you have the Hermit. So the Hermit now represents, so as a result, a lot, again, show and prove. A lot of people have ulterior motives and i.e. hidden agendas for a lot of y'all. And you need to be able to spot who has some sort of hidden agenda. Because if you don't, you're going to be spending a lot of your time messing around with people who really don't mean you any good in the first place, unfortunately. So the Ten of Swords now represents, and this is where a lot of the betrayal is because you essentially, a lot of you Aries spent way too much time in the past and giving people a chance that you had no business really giving a chance to. So that's one of your problems that a lot of you Aries have learned to actually overcome. The Moon represents, like you're just going to ghost them. From now on, you're going to see and you're going to ghost them. Some of the things, let me go ahead and say this. Some of the things that let you know that a person is a very good, upstanding person in the first place to know is if, number one is if when y'all hanging out, that they are essentially letting you in and that they communicate with you. If you have those people who talk to you, they want to reach out, they want to talk to you, the Moon, that's a very good sign, okay? That's a very good sign that a person is being straightforward and honest with you, okay? Another good sign is if the two of y'all say that y'all gonna hang out and they meet you there, Even better if they're early. Even better if you're early, right? Always be there. Time is of the essence. If a person says 8 o'clock, don't be just leaving your house at 8. You're supposed to leave, depending on how far away it is, you're supposed to leave at 6:30 to 7 o'clock. 6 to around 7 o'clock, depending on how far it is. You want to be there early. You want to make a very good representation. Because if those people or you can go to a job and make somebody else rich and dedicate your time there, why can't y'all dedicate your time for love? And if those types of people ghost you, then obviously you shouldn't feel bad. Just exit stage left out of the situation and don't even get caught up with the emotionalism of it. So the moon represents, and as far as the past is concerned, if anybody has ever ghosted you in the past, don't even worry about them. You know what to look out for if a person is not really being forthcoming and truthful with you. And you know what you should do. You should ghost them. If you know what I'm saying? Like, if these are people that are going to run game on you, you don't even have to, you shouldn't even waste your time even telling these people, you know what I mean, that you ain't want to talk to them, because you know that they're going to give you a problem anyway. The Eight of Cups represents right, because you're moving forward with your life. So you shouldn't have to explain yourself to anybody else, especially if they're dysfunctional. And that's the reason why it is that you're ghosting them in the first place. So then you have the Seven of Wands. Now, again, as far as getting to know other people, you will more than likely have to get to know a lot of people, depending on who you are, right? Because a lot of people out here, they're really on some judging you. But when they judge you, their judgment of you is very harsh. You need to have a certain particular look, in order for you to not be judged so harshly. When it comes to a certain group, you need to have like a gangster look. For some other people, right? For another part, you need to have a banging body with hips and all this other type of stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But that's what's trendy. But at the same time, you have to ask yourself if that's really you. Me, I'm not going to be coming out here looking like a gangster, because I'm not a gangster. I didn't grow up in the streets. I know of the streets, and I come from the hood, but I'm not a gangster. I'm not active in the streets. I never was like that. It's just that I just know my way around my hands, you see. But you be who you are. Be yourself is the point that I'm trying to make. And that if a person doesn't rock with you, it is what it is. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, if a person was really 100, they're not going to go out of their way to judge you harshly because you don't have a particular look. They're going to hang out with you. They're going to take it slow. They're going to feel you out a little bit. The two of y'all, again, when the two of you meet, it should be boring. It should be, because it should be boring. And what I mean when I say boring, I mean you should have enough interest to get to know each other. Let's clarify the moon. You should have enough interest to get to know each other, to want to get to know each other, but you don't know what to expect. You don't know who this person is. So how are the two of you going to just now meet each other? I'm talking about you and them, right? How are the two of you going to meet each other? And the first time you meet, the two of y'all are already thinking about wedding bells and trusts and starting a family. Like, that's way too soon. So to clarify the moon, you have the Nine of Wands, the Hermit, the Four of Swords, and then you have the Seven of Cups. This is about how the Nine of Wands represents, again, you realize that a lot of people will be apprehensive a little bit. That's my point, because every relationship should start off relatively boring, because the two of you do not know what to expect. You don't know what it is that you should expect. So the Hermit, the Four of Swords, and the Seven of Cups now represents, so as a result of this, now this is a situation for a lot of you where, and you know what a person looks like when they have some sort of ulterior motive. When when you start to see has ulterior motives based upon you reflect and you see that they are not meant to be trusted, you ghost them, because more than likely they probably have other people that they're not telling you about that they talking to.